Yo, what's going on Twitch? We got some more Final Girl today. Pretty excited. I really liked the last stream we did. Final Girl, episode 1. We had what was it? Hans the Butcher at Camp Happy Trails. So today we got Geppeto in the Carnival of Blood. I think this pack, this actually introduces minions. We are going to read through the rules just as a refresher. Oh, and I need to get the other dice. So. Yeah, so I really enjoyed playing with the tier dice. Boo hoo. We didn't really use it. We didn't use it at all, but we're still going to play with it just in case we get into a situation. I think that it's kind of nice for that, really. Um, we ended up with, one tier, so realistically, not that big a deal. I'm actually going to put it up here this time, and we'll just move the puppet card down. Or maybe we can put the puppet card over here like this. We don't really know what that's for yet. It's been a long time. I probably have played this one before. I've played them all since but closer to when it released, which would have been a long time ago. So, it's nice to get back into it. I also have the Final Girl app, which is great, I've found. If you want to play like a quick game, it'll mix and match the locations for you and just give you like a random killer and location board that you can play. But yeah, we're going to read through the rules here real quick. When we played against Hans the Butcher at Camp Happy Trails, there was no special rules, but that might be different for this Carnival of Blood. So we got a location board, 5 various tokens. Let's keep going. 10 event cards, 18 item cards, 8 terror cards, 5 setup cards, 3 item trap cards. Okay, so for the special setup, there's also a reference on the back of the puppet cards. Wait, I didn't get that. Where's that? Terror trap reference card. Where's that? That should be. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we have terror trap reference card. This is whenever a terror trap card comes into play from the terror deck, place the appropriate trap token in your space. The trap immediately takes effect on you and all victims in your space. Okay, anytime a victim enters or is in a space with a trap token, they are killed. Whenever you enter or are in a space with a trap token, suffer the following effects. Okay, so we're going to keep this close by. We'll put both of these right here, actually, so we know what's going on with that. And then we have the puppets. I mean, it's kind of coming back to me, but we'll read this anyway. So it says, set up the game as normal with the following changes to the item decks when playing with Carnival of Blood. So even if you're just using the location, you have to do this. Set the 3 item trap cards aside and shuffle the remaining item decks. So we'll do that. So there should be 3 item trap cards in here. Oh, I'm assuming it's these 3 red ones. So we'll set these aside. And then shuffle the remaining item cards, okay. I'm excited. I'm not going to lie. Final Girl is really good. Van Ryder Games, that's what I'm talking about. Where's my sticker? I'm going to put the sticker right here. Alright, so, yeah, we'll keep shuffling. I think we already shuffled them all, but... And then, it says, deal out 3 decks of 2 item cards face down. Three decks of 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see. And then it says, randomly add 1 item trap card face down to each deck, then shuffle the 3 item decks separately. And then we put a face up on top. Okay. So we put this like this, so we don't know where they are. And those are going to be the traps. And then what we'll do is shuffle these separately. So we'll go like this, 1, 2, 3. And then just kind of mix it up so we don't know. And then we'll put this up here. Okay. And then we're going to shuffle this one. So each one of these has a trap in them, essentially. Introducing the trap mechanic to the game. Pretty cool. I don't know what it is about Final Girl. I mean, I'm not really interested in the miniatures and all that. I think that it's so thematic, like it, and I love how they do like based on real movies and stuff. I don't always get the reference, but you know, that's fine. So, I don't know, we still have a really big glare up in that upper right corner, but we're going to put 3 item cards face up now on the deck, so we at least get to search for, we know kind of where those items are. So, as you can see, the Forest of Horrors, let's zoom in on this location board, actually. Actually, I need to change that, actually, a little bit, so we're just going to shift like this, bam, is that better? Yes, just like that. All right, so now you can see the location board and the item deck. So we have a first aid kit in the Forest of Horrors. Now, Forest of Horrors is down here in this corner. It is one of those searchable places. And then we have House of Mirrors. That's going to be right here where it says House of Mirrors. Then we have Things to Astonish over here. So in Things to Astonish, we have a trash can lid. Trash can lid looks like defense. That's actually awesome. That would be so good for this scenario. So it's got 3 uses, and it ignores a damage. I mean, fine by me. We haven't chosen a final girl yet, but we're still setting up. What else do we have? Bullwhip. So this bullwhip goes in one hand. That's pretty good. If we had a bullwhip and a knife, that'd be awesome. If you damage an enemy with the bullwhip, you may move them 1 space. Oh, that's pretty cool. So you're like whipping them back. You know? Gotta love it. All right, first aid kit. Every time you use an action card to recover health, recover an additional health. So that could be good as well. All right, we're going to flip this setup card. I apologize for the glare. Just bear with me here while I set this up. So we have the final girl in this position here. Looks like dead center. That's going to be our purple meeple. So we'll put ourselves there. And then we have the killer actually really close to us. Right here. This could be bad. Bad start. And then we have piled up victims. So there's going to be 3 victims down here in the Forest of Horrors. Okay, I think that's where we're going, isn't it? We want that first aid kit, or if we can get to the trash can lid. I think the trash can lid's big. Ignore damage, and you can use it up to 3 times, so I like it. Let's see, what else are we doing? We have a victim here. We have 2 victims here in this. Some of these locations are tiny, and we're gonna have this is gonna be a very crowded location board with minions and things. So that's Geppetto's whole thing. He does minions, so that's gonna teach us the mechanic about minions, which is great because I don't remember. We'll set the tiers over here. We still have to put some minions out, right? Or victims. So we got 2 victims here. It's a really small location also. And then 4 victims there. That's crazy. And is that it? So we have 4, 2, 2, 1. and 3. And that's all of them. So that's everybody. All right, so we've done that. We did the item deck thing. Deal out 1 item card face up on top of each item deck. Return the unused item cards to the location box, to the location box. When finished, you will have 3 item decks of 4 cards, each with an item trap hidden inside. So we've done that. There is some special rules here on the back we're going to read real quick. So Carnival of Blood comes with 2 kinds of traps: item traps and terror traps. Item traps are 3. There are 3 item traps randomly hidden within the item deck during setup. Okay, we did that. They will only be discovered by searching at a wrench place. One the orange locations basically. Each item deck will have a single item trap, but you won't know where in the deck they are located. Okay? After successfully searching, if you draw an item trap, you must resolve it unless otherwise noted, i.e., you have a Zappo with you. Okay, so we just learned about a special item that we can get. If you search, or if your search revealed an item in addition to the item trap, you may still take the item, but must resolve the trap first. Okay, so if we were to get a double success on a search, and let's say we picked up 2 cards and one of them's a trap, we do have to roll that trap out first. All right, I'm glad I read that. Item trap cards are discarded after they are resolved unless otherwise noted. All right, then we have terror traps. There are 3 terror trap cards in the Carnival of Blood terror deck. They may be revealed during the killer phase when a terror card is drawn. When a terror trap card is drawn. Okay, so they're saying like in the terror deck over here, which we have not even set up yet. When the terror trap card is drawn, resolve it like you would any other terror card. When the terror trap card instructs you to place the accompanying trap token, place it in your current space. The effects of the trap occur immediately and apply to you and any victims in your space. All right, victims are always killed, but each trap affects you differently. Refer to the terror trap reference card for each trap's specific effects. So we have the spinning floor blade trap. Roll 2 dice. For each result, do the following. So from 1 to 4, you take a damage. From 5 to 6, you may move a space. They could be good. Rope trap. Discard an action card at random. That would suck. And then we have acid pitfall trap. You lose a health. All right, we don't want to see that. After resolving the trap effects, finish resolving the terror trap card. If there are any other effects to resolve, and discard it as normal. Trap tokens are not discarded and remain on the board for the rest of the game. Each time you or a victim enters a space with a trap token, apply the trap's effects accordingly. Enemies are not affected by trap tokens for any reason, and completely ignore them. So minions too. Interesting. Very interesting. All right, we're going to shuffle the terror deck here, and we pull 10 cards. Should probably look that up too. I don't know. But this is a mix of the location terror cards and the killer terror cards. You're always supposed to mix these up, and I think you pull 10. I know that when the terror cards run out, that's the finale, so that's kind of why I think I should check that in the rule book, but we'll get to it. We're going to try to go a little faster today. I know last time this really drug on. But we're going to go ahead and shuffle this. This is done. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 killer phases right there. Bam. All right, putting the terror deck out. The rest of the cards just go by. All right, now we have the Geppeto, the Puppet Master. So we're going to read through this too, only because the minions can get a little confusing. So we have 3 finale cards, 16 terror cards. The killer board, that's Geppeto up here. This is our killer board. So Geppeto has 8 health, so we have 7 health, and then we have not chosen a final health token yet. We have the finale card here, which is hidden, along with the dark power. And then we have our bloodlust token here, so he starts by moving 1 and attacking 1. And then as he kills victims, he goes up this bloodlust track, moving for 2, attacking for 1, all the way up to moving for 3 and attacking for 2, so that hurts. We did really well against Hans the Butcher. So we'll see how this one goes. We might make it out, we might not. For the special setup for Geppeto, set up the game as normal with the following additions when playing with Geppeto. Place the puppets card next to the killer board. So we have done that already. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera to focus here. We have Terror Trap reference card, puppets card, right next to the killer board. Perfect. And then place all 3 puppet tokens on the ready space of the card. So these are the puppet tokens. So the puppets are ready. All right, those are Geppetto's puppets. Wow, look at all this. Special rules. Holy cow. Are we going to read through this whole thing? I don't know. I can try. The puppets are considered minions. Refer to page 32 of the core rulebook for general rules regarding minions. We're not going to do that. I think they just move and attack regular. There are 3 total puppets, which is the maximum number that can be on the board and or the puppets card at any time. So he can't really gain 4 puppets, I guess. Whenever a puppet is killed, place it on the puppets card in the exhausted space, and then it will go to the ready space. I'm starting to remember. Each killer phase up until the finale is revealed. The first step in the minion action line is the minion action line on the back of the finale card is to spawn a puppet. Whenever spawning a puppet, take a token from the ready space on the puppets card and place it in Geppetto's space. Alright, so he always starts where Geppeto is. If there are no tokens in the ready space, no puppet is spawned. Whether one was spawned or not, move all puppet tokens in the exhausted space to the ready space. Some of Geppetto's tarot cards will specify whether an action line only applies to the puppets, but many do not. Likewise, your chosen location's tarot cards will not specify this either. When resolving a killer action on any tarot card that does not specify whether it only applies to the puppets, each puppet on the board will resolve the full action one at a time. All right, so it's going to take a little longer here to do this, to deal with these puppets and whatnot. If there are multiple puppets, you may choose which order they resolve the action in, and after each puppet has gone, resolve the same action for Geppeto. Here's the important stuff. Puppets have 1 health, and their attack value is 1. Their movement value is the same as Geppetto's and will change accordingly when his bloodlust increases. All right, so puppets move for 1 and attack for 1, and it says the movement value is the same as Geppetto's. So if Geppeto gets up to a 2 movement, that means minions also move for 2. I did not realize that. These stats are located on the puppet's card as a reminder. Oh, I see down here. Very nice. All right, puppets have the strings. All right, puppets have strings and are attached to their master, so they must end their movement within 2 spaces of Geppeto. That is also important. So they can't run around the board. Since puppets have strings, they got to stay close to Geppeto. They may move further than 2 spaces from Geppeto as long as they end their movement within 2 spaces of him. Yo, Goblin 981, how's it going, man? You like Final Girl? Yeah, this is like a new thing I've been doing. We're getting set up here for October. We did Hans the Butcher at Camp Happy Trails, and now we're doing Geppeto at the Carnival of Blood. So should be interesting. This feature film introduces the minions. So again, I'm not like a seasoned Final Girl player, so I do need to like refresh on the rules here, how the puppets work and things. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. So yeah, they have strings. They must end their movement within 2 spaces of Geppeto, If a special effect from a terror card or other game effect results in a puppet being more than 2 spaces away from Geppeto, the next time that a puppet must choose a target, it will instead target Geppeto. Um, so I haven't played Final Girl, but I have everything of Hostage Negotiator. Oh, so that was like, I've never played Hostage Negotiator, but I did hear about it when buying this game because that was, I think it's like in the same family, right? I'll have to check out Hostage Negotiator. Seems cool. But yeah, you should definitely check out Final Girl. I mean, I love. I mean, I have every series. I think. I don't think I'm missing any. Um, yeah, pretty much the same system. Um, it's like reminds me of Gloomhaven a bit, like the move and attack stuff, but it's just like a smaller version. I mean, you get items like I don't know if you're a Gloomhaven player. Like when they first told me Final Girl, like at the board game store, the guy was like, "You should try Final Girl if you like solo games and you like Gloomhaven." I was like, "Final Girl? Like, no, that sounds so dumb." And then I was like, I got the core box and then I got my first feature film and I tried it and I was like, "This is fucking awesome, man." The guy was right. So yeah, you can't ever discount a board game for its name. I don't want to get into Final Girl because I'll end up getting everything exactly. Just wait. Maybe check this out. See if you like it or not. Um, I am gonna play through. I am gonna stream every game at least once, and then I don't know what I'll do with the rest of the stuff because what's really nice about Final Girl is you don't have to buy in to the whole thing. Um, if there's a killer that has a mechanic that you like, you get that feature film. Like, let's say you own 2 feature films only in the core box. So you're looking at like maybe $60 right there for all that stuff. Like 2 feature films and the core set would be like $60 American. And you can play any location with any killer. So you already have enough combinations there. With my whole set of what I have, there was no way I'd be able to play every combination. But I would like to try. So right now we're just doing the basic stuff. We're doing the killer that came with that location as a series, and we're gonna play through that. So hopefully I can get this minion thing down. They say to reference page 32 of the core rulebook, so if I get into a snag, I can always go there and check it out. But it's a special if a special effect from a terror card or other game effect results in a puppet being more than 2 spaces away, they target Geppeto. When a puppet must stop moving, either because further movement would cause it to end more than 2 spaces away from Geppeto, or it was returning to Geppeto and made it exactly 2 spaces away from him. Any additional movement it may have is lost. Very cool. All right, so that's all of the special setup and rules for this. Camp Happy Trails has no special setup, no special rules. So this is the first one with some special setup and rules. We have a trap card, reference card here, right next to the killer board, and we got Geppeto. The tier board is from season 3. We are using the tier dice, and because I mean, to be honest, like I've had some bad luck with the rolls before, and I think it would be nice to maybe once in a while convert a tier into some time. It could change the result of the game. We did not end up using it last game, but you never know. So we are going to keep playing with the tier board until someone calls us a baby or something, and then we'll stop. We have the location board set up and everything. Terror deck. We're going to flip that first event card right now. So we have 4 victims here, 2 victims here, 2 victims here. This is our final girl. This is Geppeto. I don't know. What do we do with the minions? Do we just... Oh, I guess we spawn a puppet at the start of each of his turns. So that's how they're going to enter the board. And then, 3 victims here and 1 here. So as far as, like, strategy-wise, I think we can see the items right there. I am really interested in the trash cans lid. at Things to Astonish, the location here, because we're not too far away from it, and we can actually take this victim with us. The other idea is to go here and get the bullwhip. Now, if we get the bullwhip, it has a really nice ability where if you damage an enemy with the bullwhip, you may move them one space. So we could just like whack these minions back if they keep coming in to kill us. So bullwhip could be better than trash can lid. We do have to choose a final girl still. So maybe you can just help us decide this, Goblin. So each feature film comes with 2 final girls. So we have Charlie and Asami. Charlie has 7 health, and Asami has 5 health. And then if you save 4 victims with Asami, you get these benefits each time you save a victim. So this says take a search action card. This is gain a health. This is move 1 space. This is reduce the horror by 2. Now she only has 5 health. Let's look at her ultimate ability. So whenever you draw at least 1 item card, you draw an extra card and choose one. And then it says you are immune to item trap cards. That could be huge. That could be really good. Then we have Charlie. Obviously, she has more health, 7 health. Maybe she can take a little more damage from those minions. She also has to save 6 victims before she gets her ultimate ability on the back. We have 3 reduce horror things, which is really good because we want to be rolling those dice. And the horror is what judges how many dice you roll. So as the horror goes down, if you get into this area, you're only rolling 1 dice, so your chances of success are much lower. So we want to be in this white and green zone the whole time. So that's what these little Jason masks with a slash through them are, reducing the horror. And then we also have a couple move 1 spaces here, and then we have gain 2 time. Thoughts on that? Oh, for Asami, we have each additional victim saved recover a health. Let's look at Charlie's ultimate ability. During the action phase, you may lose 3 health to take the critical blow action card directly into your hand. And for each victim we save, we gain an additional time. So this could be big. I'm sort of thinking Asami. I really like the immunity to the item trap cards. We don't know how bad that's going to be, though. We don't do much searching, though, to be honest. All right, so does anyone have any thoughts on which final girl we should play? Have you played these final girls? Which one's better? I mean, right away off the bat, Charlie keeps your horror down, which means more dice. This is true. And she's got more health. And I realize she has to save 6 victims to get that ultimate ability. There might be some games where we don't get the ultimate ability. So, also, if we're in a pinch with Charlie, she's got more health. If we do have her ultimate ability, we can just lose 3 health, which if we only have 3 left, then we're rolling an extra dice anyway, because in Final Girl, when you're down to your last health, you roll 1 extra dice. And if the boss is down to his last health, you also roll an extra dice. So that's why there's 6 dice. You do have the potential of rolling 6 dice. So I think we are going to go with Charlie here. That's a good call. And more health. So what does Asami bring to make up for that? So what I would say is Asami. Let me zoom in here again. So Asami has 5 health. So I would think of her as like a rush strategy. Because you can see Charlie's got to save 6 victims just to crack that final ability on the back. And Asami's got to save 4. So she saves 4 victims. She gets that ability. I mean, one of hers is 2 horror right off the bat. One of hers is to move 1 space. One of hers is to get a health back. And one of hers is to take the search action card, which could give you items. And then her ultimate ability is whenever you draw at least 1 item card, draw an extra card and choose one. And you're immune to the trap cards. So that means there are some trap cards on the location board. They are mixed into this deck. So we would take an extra item card, and if it's a trap card, we ignore it. So she upgrades faster. Yes, she upgrades faster. She only has to save four victims to get to that ultimate ability. So she would be like a rush strategy. We could go with the safe bet, though. I do like Charlie. I'm fine with either one. Whichever one you want to see played, though, go ahead. I would do a poll, but you're probably the only person watching. So we also have to flip that first event card. And once we do pick one of these final girls, I will kind of show how that last health token works since you've never played. And what these cards mean and all that stuff. It's very easy to play. It's something you can learn in a matter of minutes. Especially if you've already played Hostage Negotiator. I've heard this is easier. I probably won't be here long, but I'd pick Charlie. Okay, good choice. So we're going with Charlie. All right, so Asami is sitting back this game. Now, the other thing to think about is each final girl each final girl that you get also has a special item that you cannot unlock until you beat a game with that final girl. So if we win this game, we'll get Charlie's special item. So that's something else you can think about. But yeah, we'll give a quick explanation here. This is the time. It is faster, at least for me, just watching someone play. So the way you set up, you flip that first setup card up in the corner. I know that's really hard to see. It's got a glare on it, but it shows how many victims you put in each spot and where the final girl, purple, and where the killers start. So pretty important. These are the victims, the yellow people, and then you can move around these spaces here. Yeah, we can see that sort of. So yeah, so we just move around and whatnot. These orange spaces, those are these locations up here where we can search. So this is the House of Mirrors. We can see that the bullwhip is the weapon that we can pick up from the House of Mirrors. And then we have the first aid kit, which is Forest of Horrors, which is down here. Also 3 victims there. And then we have a trash can lid, which is going to be defense. Gives you 3 charges there to ignore 1 damage. And that's down here at Things to Astonish. So that's pretty much how you start. You flip that setup card. You flip an event card. So we have the starting event here. Now I'm going to read this. It says, run, I'll hold them off. Now this is one of the special victims because it has that blue meeple. And it says the victim closest to you is now your fiance. If an enemy would move into your space while the fiance is there, instead kill the fiance and the enemy stays where they are. If your fiance is killed by a trap, lose 5 or increase the horror by 5. So that's already a pretty rough start, I'm not going to lie. We'll take the victim closest to us, which is going to be this person, is now our fiance. So we have someone important to us on the board, and if they die from a trap, we have to increase the horror by 5, which totally sucks. And of course, you can have multiple events come out. Okay, I don't know why. Can you see that Chibaloo in the bottom? That is like my most recent follower. I think I think I can move that on the go here. Let me try real quick. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna move it. We're just gonna get started. Actually, it's bothering the hell out of me. So 3, 2. Hopefully none of this. Hopefully, I don't know why my account always gets signed out, so I'm going to try to move that latest follower up to the corner. I don't know if you can see that Goblin 981, but I can, and it's irritating. It's just in the wrong spot is all. So go down here, grab this, and we'll put it where it's supposed to be. Bam! Thoughts on that? All right, cool. That was mostly just for me, but we're going to get started now. So we have, apologize for that. We have 6 cards that we start with. These are 0 cost cards, but they're going to be free, and you can only get them back every other turn, basically. So whatever you use will go in a discard pile here, and then I do this too. Sorry, game's on hold while fixing something no one else can see. Yeah, sorry about that. What it is like I'm not really good with all this stuff on OBS, and like I'm just not a technical like person. So with the technology and whatnot, so like I'll move something around, and then other stuff that I didn't know about. Like I don't normally get followers and things, and like somebody's name has been in the corner for like 4 days, and I couldn't figure out how to move it, and then I just thought about how I could fix it. So we start out with these couple cards. So we have 2 walk cards. With 2 successes, if we're rolling dice, 2 successes allows us to move 2 spaces for a time. So we get 2 of those. That's our movement. And then we have a healing card that we start with. We have a focus card, which allows us, we have 2 focus cards actually, which allow us to move the horror down and gain some time back if we get into a bad situation. And then we have a weak attack card that we start with that does 1 damage. We start with 6 time, as mentioned here by the colored in blue thing. The killer is going to tell us on his board where the horror starts. So we start at 4 horror. So we'll put the other red marker from here on 4 horror. And then what else do we got? Oh, Charlie's health. So this is the most fun part about the game, at least for me. So Charlie, you can see Charlie has 7 health. We're going to put 6 tokens. 6 tokens there. And then you might be thinking, why 6? She has 7 health. But this happens for the killer board as well. We have these final girl down to your last health tokens. Now, on the back of these, there is either a blank space. So some of them are blank, and then 3 of them have extra health. So it's the most thematic thing about the game. So when you think you're about to kill the killer, you could flip his last health token over, and it might say heal him for 2, and then you have to go back and kill him some more. So, and it could also happen for us, which is great. So what we do is we shuffle these up. We mix them up. And we don't want to flip them over. And we pick 2. So we're going to give this one to Charlie. And that's going to be her last health token. Now, if we get attacked 6 times, and then the 7th damage to us, and we have no way to block it or anything, and we flip that over, and that token is blank, we're dead. We lost. Same goes for the killer. So we have the killer board here. We're just going to pull a random token and put it there. Now that is the killer's final health token. Favorite part about this game, because I've gotten into situations where I thought I was dead, had extra health under there. You gotta love it. Okay. So yeah, there's the extra health token. And when you bring back the health token, you give them a white health token, meaning you've already killed them once. So it can't just like happen again, which is great. All right, we mix the terror deck with location deck with the terror killer deck. We shuffle them together. We pull 10 cards, and then we have the card tableau here. Yeah, super thematic. That is hands down my favorite part about the game. Yesterday, or not yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, we were doing Hans the Butcher in Camp Happy Trails, and we killed him, meaning like we flipped that token, and there was 3 extra health on it. Now that's the most there can be. So it was super annoying. I had to go back and kill him again. But that is the funnest part about the game because it can either happen to the final girl or the killer, and you never know. So that's kind of like, I don't know. It's my favorite part about the game. It is really thematic. Like you'll think about like a movie, like a horror movie, where like it's the last girl and it's like, oh, it killed her or whatever, or she lost a leg and then she comes crawling back to like, beat up the killer or some shit. Fucking perfect, perfect. So yeah, geniuses over at Van Ryder Games, I must say. All right, so I think that is everything. We just have some extra health tokens down here in case the boss gets a minor dark power that increases his health. We've got our fiance here. I think we're ready. So the way we start is we just play some of our cards. And then I'll go through kind of what happens. So we're going to start. Now, we want to come up with some sort of strategy here. Like, let's look at this location board and see maybe what the best idea or plan of action is. Because we are 1 space away from the killer right now. We could just be real gung-ho and go in to that space and just start attacking him and then run away. There's no way we're going to kill him with our weak attack card and no weapons. So I think we just bring our fiance towards an exit to save him. Get him off the game or get him off the board so that there's no chance of him dying from a trap and us reducing the horror or increasing the horror by 5. That's horrible. We don't want that. So I think my plan is going to be to run down here, bring him with me, and I would like to go to House of Mirrors. Sorry, I thought this was House of Horrors the whole time. Oh, it is House of Horrors. Oh my god. That's so confusing. So we have House of Mirrors and House of Horrors. Okay, House of Mirrors has the bullwhip, and that's kind of what I want. The first aid kit could be useful, though. I'll tell you what I think. I don't want to get too... If we get that bullwhip, I think it's going to be important that we get that bullwhip. We could just run away from the guy, though, too. Like, we could just go, 1, play it safe. I mean, we do have Charlie. She's got the bigger health. I think I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. Pick up that first aid kit. No. Let's play a little reckless and go House of Mirrors. Yeah, we're going to go towards that House of Mirrors. All right. So the way this works is we're just going to play some cards. Our walk card is the only way we can move right now until we can buy a sprint card. So the way it works is you start with 6 time. We're going to first run one of our focus cards at least to try to bump that horror up or down, sorry, and get some time back. So let's play 1 focus. So we'll play focus. This shows you how many dice you're rolling. So we're starting with 2 dice. We need a success to reduce the horror by 1, and that would cost a time. If we get a double success, then we reduce horror by 1, and we gain 2 times. So that's big. What do you know? What are the chances of that? I mean, read it and weep. Double success. All right? So on the double success focus card here, it says reduce horror by 1, gain 2 time. This is big. This never happens. So we're up to 8 time. We reduce the horror by 1. We're getting closer to that rolling 3 dice situation. We love it. All right, so we played 1 focus. Let's save the other one for our next turn. Let's start walking. We're going to go... Do we want to get that bullwhip? I think things are going well already, so we're going to walk towards that direction of the bullwhip. I'll tell you what the luck is from. It's this Final Girl dice roller. Look at that. Another success. And then I'll zoom in here to kind of show you what this means. So we have 5 and 6 is a success. A 3 and 4 is a partial success. And there's a picture of 2 cards on it, meaning you can discard 2 cards to convert it to a success. And then the ones, these are not the dice that come with the game. We're playing with the tier board. You don't need to know about that really. But the dice that come with the game are red, and they have no tiers on 1 and 2. It's actually really funny what they wrote about that. So this is the tier component sheet. And I thought this was hilarious when I read this the other day. So it says, it is well known in Final Girl that Final Girl lore that our inspiration and creativity is fueled by the tiers of our players. I read that the other day and I couldn't stop laughing. So hopefully, yeah. But anyway, so these are the tier dice. So we got a single success there, and then we can pitch 2 of these cards that we have in our hand to make that a double success, and we get to move 2 spaces. So I think we won that. LOL. Dude, I don't know why, but like I read that and I was like, should I even play with the tier dice? Like, I don't want to be complaining and whatnot, but I thought it was so funny. I just busted out laughing. So we can pitch 2 cards to get a double success here, and then we can move 2 spaces. Being that we got a single success, I don't think we are going to pitch these cards. Reason being, we don't want to go 1, 2, because you can't do like a move and then search, really. Or we do pitch the cards and we go this way and we pick up that first aid kit. Maybe that's the play since we rolled so well. We're going to pitch short rest and weak attack to turn this roll into a double success. So we pitch these 2 cards, and that was a successful walk. So we're down to 1 focus, or one focus card. We are going to hold on to that, so this will be the end of our turn, but we need to spend 1 time to move 2 spaces here. So we're going to go like this, down to our fiance, and then we can move 1 more space, and we can bring up to 2 victims with us through spaces. Now, you cannot bring victims into the killer space, but these green spaces on the killer board are how you get victims out of the game and save them. And that's how you get the benefits on the Final Girl thing. So I was going to go this way towards the whole lot of victims here, but I think we go into things to astonish and pick up the trash can lid next turn. Yeah, let's do this. So we brought our fiance into things to astonish. Okay, so that's going to be the end of the action phase. We move right on to the planning phase. Now, we purchase action cards with the time we have remaining, okay? So you can see the time we have remaining here is 7, so we have up to 7 time to spend on these action cards. Now, this is the tableau of action cards. You have a close call. That's going to allow you to re-roll some dice, and it is the cheapest of the action cards. You can re-roll all the dice if you spend 2 time, but they cost 1 time just to pick up that card. Then you have a sprint card, which is going to allow you to run faster than the walks. You can move up to 3 spaces with a double success. We have improvise. That's just going to change what your rolls mean. So it says until this... For a double success, it says, until this action phase ends, all 3s and 4s are successes. God damn. For the next horror roll, only 3s and 4s are successes. And then with no success, you increase the horror and lose time. So I don't really mess around with this card too much. One of my favorites is Distraction. With a double success, you reduce horror by 2 and gain 2 time. So it's like an improved focus. We also have some retaliates, some big damage cards, some big healing cards. The blue cards are reactionary cards. So if you are attacked, you can then play a reaction card like, I don't want to take this damage. So we have 7 time to spend. Let's get a sprint and a search since we're on a search spot. So sprint's going to cost 2. We'll go to 5 time. Search is going to cost 2. There are doubles of these cards too. So that also costs 2 times, so we're down to 3 time. Let's take that favorite card, Distraction. All right, so the cards we have now, we've purchased a total of 7 time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we have that free walk that we held, or focus that we held on to. So those are our cards for our next turn. And then what we do is we return the cards to the tableau. So all these 0 cost action cards from the first turn will go here, and we'll be able to pick those up for free next turn. Okay. So I think that was everything. We spent all of our time. We put the time back to 6. And then we move on to our killer phase. So there's a little cheat sheet on the playmat here. So first thing in the killer phase, we're going to look at the killer board. And it says spawn 1 puppet. Target the closest victim and move. Okay, we spawn a puppet. Now, the puppets always spawn where Geppeto is. Okay, then we're going to target the closest victim and move. So now there is a puppet in that space. The puppets have 1 health, do 1 damage. All right, fair enough. Then we go back to the killer board. We're finishing the killer action here. We're going to target the final girl or closest victim and attack. So Geppeto is not in a space with a victim or the final girl. He has no movement so far, so he just doesn't do anything. All right, then we go to a terror card. We flip a terror card, and it says, if there are no victims on the board, discard and draw the next terror card. Otherwise, increase horror by 1. Target the closest victim, move twice, and attack. He only has to move once, and he attacks for 1 and kills this victim. So we have a deck. We have our first dead victim. We'll put him in the dead pool. Each time he kills a victim, the bloodlust is going to go up, which is going to increase his strength. So he's going to move further, attack harder, basically. All right, that was kind of a rough first killer phase. I'm not going to lie. The horror increase kind of hurt because we bumped it up to 3, and now it's already back at 4. So we do have a good distraction card in hand, though. There's really no shot of us getting... I guess there is a shot. If we roll two double successes here, we can get into that 3 dice situation, but there's just no shot. I think what we do here is try to reduce horror with distraction and focus. These 2 cards first. Try to get that horror up, back in the green, and then we do a search, and then we run away. That's all I want to do, really. We're going to let him kill victims. His bloodlust board isn't that scary to me. Moving for 1 and attacking for 1. He doesn't attack for 2 until he's all the way up here, so we're not that scared. Let's do a focus first, so we're going to roll 2 dice. Okay, so we have a tier, and we have a partial success. So unfortunately, we're going to take the tier there because we're not going to pitch 2 cards because we only have 3, and we've got to get out of that area, I think. We might be able to save our fiance if we can get a full success on that sprint. So let's take the tier. So we got a failure there. Now, when we fail a roll on focus, we lose 2 times. So we'll move the time down to 4, which also hurts. But we're going to start doing some things. Let's try a distraction. So distraction is just like a better focus. We bought that. Okay, so we could pitch our search and our sprint to get a double success there, but there's no need. We get 1 time back. We reduce the horror by 1. I'm fine with that. What we're going to do is search. We just need a single success here. Okay, we got a single success. So we're going to spend a time. So back down to 4. Take the top item card at your space. So we are at things to astonish. So we get a trash can lid. All right. Wow. I shouldn't have revealed that, but that's okay. We didn't see it. Nobody saw that. All right. Trash can lid is an item that goes in your spot. It has a single hand print on it, so it takes 1 hand. All right, gotta go catch you another day. Sounds good, man. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. You're the man. So we got this trash can lid. So this is gonna allow us to. No one saw that. Yeah, definitely no one saw that. Now that you're leaving. We got the trash can lid, so we can ignore damage up to 3 times, which is important. That's going to be good for defense right there. And Charlie's got a lot of health, so I'm starting to feel a little bit tankier with this trash can lid. So there's a possibility we could have the trash can lid in one hand and the bullwhip in the other and just be like a straight monster. Just whipping these minions back and whatnot. All fun stuff. Okay, so that was a successful search. The last card we have in our hand to play is the sprint. So we're gonna roll 2 dice here and see where if we can get out of this spot. Create some distance here. Now we cannot because we rolled a failure. Or we still can. We can lose a health, spend 2 time, and end our turn to move 1 space. I think we are gonna do that. We're gonna spend the health. Lose 2 times, so we're down to 2. That really sucks, actually. But we were losing 2 time anyway. We do get another tier, which is important because we can re-roll a die. We could spend those tiers right now to re-roll a die. Oh, we're starting to like the tier board. Ooh. I don't know. Do we do that right now? No, we can't because we can't just like take the tiers and then re-roll it, right? Because you got to, yeah. That makes more sense. All right, so we took the 2 time. We have to end our turn right now, which is fine. We'll probably just pick up a search. Try to get that item that no one saw. What do you guys think about that? Pretty cool. But we have to end our turn. We still get to move 1 space. Now, let's get away from the killer. Or do we just go in this space? There we are, turn in British. Let's go this way. We're going to move away. That ends our turn. So we moved 1 space, spent the 2 time, ended our turn. We jump right into the planning phase. So we're going to spend our 2 time on Lord knows what. Maybe we just get 2 close calls to be safe because we know we're going to have 2 walks. I don't know how we ended up spending that other walk, but it's all good. So we spend our 2 time on 2 close calls. We put the time back to 6, and we go back into the killer phase, and we return these cards to the tableau. So sprint's going here, search is going here, distraction's going here, and focus goes into 0. All right, now we have these cards back. 2 close calls, 2 walks, a short rest, a weak attack, and a focus. All right, what's going on now? Killer phase. All right, killer phase is spawn 1 puppet. Yikes. Target the closest victim. End move. If there's a victim in the space, do they move? Does anyone know? I don't think they would. So we spawned a puppet. There's a victim in the space, so they're not going to move. Then the killer himself is going to target the final girl or the closest victim and attack, killing this victim and bumping that bloodlust up. So if it goes up 1 more time, it reduces the horror. So we need to buy a distraction here. We're starting to get a little behind. We may need to rush this game a little bit. All right, let's flip this next terror card and see what happens. All right, we have Welcome to the Greatest Show. We're going to flip an event card. This doesn't happen often. All right, we have Employee Transport. This could be big. Let's see what it says. All right, Employee Transport. Place the golf cart token in any of the 4 corner spaces. During upkeep, you and or up to 2 victims in the space with the golf cart may drive it 2 spaces, but the golf cart must stay on the outer path. That's awesome. Did this game come with a golf cart? I didn't see it. Like, where's the golf cart? So it says, but the golf cart must stay on the outer path. If the golf cart is driven into a space with an enemy, you may discard it to do 3 damage to that enemy. We could run this guy over. I love it. All right, we have employee transport. We do need to find... there should be some tokens here that I'm missing, apparently. Aha. We've got them. Tokens and miniatures. Oh, yeah, that makes sense for the traps and stuff, too. I didn't even think about that. All right, so we've got a golf cart. God, I'm so glad this came up. So we could put it in any of the 4 corner spaces. Let's put it here. We're going there anyway, aren't we? Love it. Hey, that's one of the better event cards, I'm not going to lie. All right, so we place the golf cart in any of the 4 corner spaces, and then during the upkeep phase, that's important. You end or up to 2 victims. So me and 2 victims that are in the space with the golf cart can drive it up to 2 spaces. So the golf cart can really only go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces, and then back. It can't loop around the board like that because of this space. Doesn't touch the border, I don't think. Yeah, because we can't go in here with the golf cart. Makes sense. Game's so good. All right, and then if we feel crafty, we can drive that golf cart directly into an enemy to do 3 damage. We probably are going to end up doing that. I'm going to run somebody over with the golf cart today. Okay, that was the first thing on the tarot card. So all victims move 1 space closer to the big top. Our fiance is a victim, is he not? This is going to go here. And all of these victims go in the space with the killer. Wow, that space is crowded. Sorry, I don't even have it. We moved all 4 into here. We moved these 2 over here. The fiance moved into the big top. And then 1 space closer to the big top, we can bring these guys over here. That's all victims. We've moved them all. It says place the killer at the big top. That actually helps us as well, but not really because of... our fiance is now in the space with Geppeto, so we've got to go in there and save his bitch ass. What do we do now? Target the final girl. No, dude. No, this is death. This is where he dies. This is what we did not want. Worst event card ever. We're gonna have to somehow get back from this. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but we're gonna do it. I believe. I have faith. All right. So. The next thing on that tarot card says, target the final girl or a victim, attack and move. That sucks. So he's going to kill our fiance. The horror goes down by 5. Oh, no, if he's killed by a trap, it goes by 5. So that's not bad at all. Bloodlust goes up 1, horror goes down 1. Sorry, up 1. It's confusing as hell. So it's only if he's killed by a trap. I didn't remember that spot. Okay. So then he kills our fiance, and now he moves towards us. The minions are still 2 spaces away, so that's legal. I think he wants to go this way to be closer to the minions. So, I mean, we'll say that, right? I'm not 100% sure on how this works, but we're going to play it that way because it's like they can't be so many spaces away from the puppets or whatever because they have strings, remember? All right, we're going to put 3 tokens on our trash can lid because we forgot. And that ignores a damage up to 3 times. I wonder, can we use that trash can lid to block damage from minions? That would be interesting. Oh my god, when is this killer phase going to be over? We've just been getting hammered here. I think now. We do have panic phase, so both of those victims that are in that space are going to panic because he killed our fiance. Let's roll a dice for each victim right now. All right, we got 2 4s. So on this location board, it does show little numbers for when you roll for panics. So a 3 and 4 sends these 2 victims to the big top, which makes them a little easier to save. I'm going to lay them down so you can see. And then we have, after the panic phase, we have upkeep phase. Now, we are not in the space with the golf carts, so it's best to probably try to get there, because that's going to be free movement. Maybe we go to the... Did we take a... No, we don't have a search. So let's get... What do we have? We have 2 close calls, a walk. We're going to use our walks to try to get... Do we save some victims? I mean, saving 3 victims would be huge. We're going to reduce that horror. Get to rolling 3 dice. That's kind of what we want. We can't really focus on it too much, though. Maybe we do 1 focus first to start out. See how we're rolling. Ho ho! Look at this. Look at this, dude. All right. We got 2 stars. 2 successes. So we're going to reduce that horror by 1, gain 2 time. Love it. All right. Let's do a walk. We've got really nothing good because of our last action. So let's do a walk. We have 2 walks. If we end up with a double success here, I think it's important that we get those 2 victims out of that space. But I also want to make it to the golf cart this turn. So let's roll 2. Remember, we have that tier that we can re-roll a dice, but... Okay. We got a single success and a convert. So... Maybe that's why we got these close calls, so we could just pitch them to move 2 spaces right now and save 2 victims and reduce horror by 2 and get 3 dice. I love it. Then we have another walk, so we can get into the space with the golf cart. All right, we're going to pitch 2 cards. We're going to make that walk a success. We're going to spend 1 time to move 2 spaces. We're going to go like this. 1, 2. Now that I think about it, I should have put the golf cart here, but that's hindsight's 2020. It's all good. We just saved 2 victims, so we're gonna put them on our final girl card. Now, let's reduce horror. Oh, should we reduce horror? The move 1 space is so enticing. We could get into that golf cart. Let's do 1 horror. We'll reduce horror by 1. That way we're closer. And then let's move 1 space. All right, so we got a free movement there. We're going to go like this. Bam. And then if we bring that victim into the space... Oh, we're not even looking at the location board. Sorry. We moved 1 space from our victim saving. So we went like this. And now what I want to try to do is get that victim into the space with the golf cart so we can rip the golf cart over here and save another victim. Yes. Okay. We did have to spend a time for that, right? We got a double success. We pitched 2 cards. Yeah, we're looking good here. This is super lucky. Let's do another walk, and then we'll save these 2 for pitch. What do you know? We don't even need to pitch. We'll save these 2 cards for next time, and we'll move 1 space. We're going to bring that victim with us. And then during upkeep, we can zoom that shit right to the exit, save another victim, maybe move another space, maybe gain 2 time, you know? Options are endless. I want to get 1 more tier, if I'm honest. I would love to just reduce that horror again. We want to stay in that 3 dice rolling situation. Now that the boyfriend's off the board, we can discard this event. All right, we're holding on to 2 cards. We're jumping into the planning phase. Any cards we use that turn, we're not going to be able to get back, but we do get this 1 focus for free. And then we have 7 time to spend right now, so that's big. I think it's important that we get a distraction for 3, a sprint for 2, and a search for 2. All right, that's all of our time spent. We've got some very good cards now in hand. We're going to refill the tableau with everything. So 0, 0, close call, 0. Fair enough. That was the planning phase. All right, killer phase. So we're going to resolve this killer phase again. First off, we spawn a puppet in the space with Geppeto. So we have another puppet. All 3 puppets are on the board. They have not been attacking yet, though, so yeah, it's one interesting thing. There is something on the special setup that I wanted to read real quick. So it says when resolving a killer action on any terror card that does not specify whether it only applies to the puppets, each puppet on the board will resolve the full action, 1 at a time. Yikes. So I don't think we've been doing that, to be fair, but we will from now on. So that's pretty scary, actually, because those puppets are just going to start nuking our victims. I'd be fine with all the victims off the board, but the bloodlust can't be that high because we're just going to get zapped. We've only got 5 health left. I don't know. Okay, we just spawned that 3rd puppet. So we're going to move towards the closest victim. So puppet goes here. And remember, the puppets have to stay 2 spaces. Whoops. 2 spaces from our killer. So 1, 2, and 1. All right, then the killer is going to target the final girl or the closest victim in attack. There are no victims in that space. So we ignore that. And then we flip our terror card, which usually screws us. And we have, where the hell did the blades come from? Place the spinning floor blade trap token in your space. Immediately apply the trap's effects. Oh no, this is where we get cooked. All right, so it's going to go right here in our space. That is the spinning blade trap. For reference, it says spinning floor blades trap. Roll 2 dice. For each result, do the following. All right, we're going to roll 2 dice. Whoa! Double success. What are the chances? Probably pretty high. We got a 5 and a 5. So it says you may move 1 space. Yo, I love it. Do we even want to do that, though? I mean, we can save a victim. Do we care about this? Golf cart? We can do it twice. We just can't do the we can't do the golf cart thing. God, that was such a horrible placement on the golf cart. Let's save a victim, right? So, we rolled 2 5s. Now, spinning floor blade trap says if you roll a 5, you may move 1 space. So we got 2 5s. So we can move 2 spaces. So we're going to go zoom. Zoom. We actually save that victim during the killer phase, which is very interesting. Then what we can do is pick one of these things on our thing. If we bump the horror down here, we get to roll 3 dice. So I think we will do that. We're going to take one of these reduced horrors and change the horror down. So now we're up to rolling 3 dice. We love it. Who would have thought the trap would have helped us? All right, but we're not finished with this card yet. So it says, to you and any victims in your space. And then it says, for each 1 to 4 you rolled, increase the horror. We got 2 5s, baby. We're moving. All right, that's it. That's the killer phase. All said and done. That's what I'm talking about. That was huge. Did we move, though? No, we reduced the horror. All right, we're good. We're up to rolling 3 dice. Let's throw one in there to remember. What should we do here? We don't have any. Well, we do have a focus. We could rip a focus, try to get some time. You know, we don't want to be back to rolling 2 dice at any time. So let's do a focus with 3 dice. That's big. Yo, we take a tier here, right? Yeah, we're not pitching cards. Oh, well, we have weak attack and short rest. For a single success, what's that give us? I mean, it makes us a little safer on that horror track. So let's go there. We're pitching 2 cards to make that a single success. We're not going to take a tier. We're going to take the horror reduced now. All right, what's next? I think we do a sprint. No, let's do a distraction. We're going to roll 3 dice again. What? Yo, we're cooked. Who would have thought 3 dice is worse than 2? I think we reduce horror by 1, giving us a time. And then we lose 4 time. So we're down to 3 time. That's the best shot for a no success right there. We're not going to increase horror and lose 2 time. That's reckless. All right, let's do a sprint. Yikes. We've been having shit rolls here. I'm not going to lie. All of these victims are actually at this tiny space here with the minions. So, where am I trying to get to? If we do a sprint right now, we only have a search card. I want to get to that golf cart space so that we can move during upkeep. But if we enter that spinning trap shit again, we have to roll for it. So, just no sense, right? We've almost got to go over here to save those victims. Let's sprint. Come on, man. 2 spaces for a time. Let's do that. We have our trash can lid. Now, this is a massive amount of people for one tiny little spot on the board. I know that's really hard to see. We might actually use this thing that they gave us. So they do give you these with the core game. We can put all of our people. All of our meeple on here. And our minions. So there's 2 minions. See this big moon thing? And they give you 3 of them. So 1 for this, 1 for this, and then we have some other final girls in hand. Then what you do is you take that matching token. So we're playing the moon there. So we just take the moon token like this, and we drop it on that space. So that is where everyone's at. I've never had to use one of these. I always thought they were a little too confusing, but that's okay. We're going to try it. We kind of need it. I don't want the board to be so jangled up like that. All right, all we have left is a search. We cannot search from that position, so we hold on to this search. We go into planning phase with 2 time. Now, that really sucks. We could take guard, but I think it's more important we get a sprint. So we buy a sprint for 2 time, pump the time back up to 6, And then we go into the killer phase. Yikes. All right, no puppets to spawn, but the puppets will move towards a enemy. Now the puppets haven't been attacking, right? I need to read this again. Like, am I messing this up? Somebody needs to help me with these special rules. Like, how do the minions attack? Because it says up here, for the minions we spawn one, we move, we target a victim, and we move. We don't attack. Does the killer mean like they attack too? Like, are the puppets there to just scare you? I don't get it. They haven't been attacking. Like, when do they attack? I mean, right here it says killer, target the final girl and or a victim and attack. Does that mean all three puppets attack too? I think we just have to assume that it does, right? All right, so none to spawn. Let's do an attack. So each puppet here is going to kill a victim. Yikes. We're going to reveal his dark power right now. That sucks. Massive abominations. Each puppet ignores the first damage dealt to it each turn. I don't know if this is right, guys. Where can I find the rules on this? I don't think that's right. We're not going to do that. I don't think it should go that quick. Someone tell me if I'm wrong, please, but I don't know. It doesn't say anywhere that, like why would they separate this? The minions and the killer. Like, if you're doing the killer action, like, the killer himself has to kill that stuff, yeah? I think they only attack if it comes from here. So we didn't spawn anything. There's no victims in the killer's spot, so then we'll flip a terror card. This is how I'm going to play it, because I'm new. All right, then we place two victims. Two new victims at Geppetto's starting location. His starting location would have been here. Then place Geppeto in the space with the closest victim. Target the final girl or a victim and attack. We didn't do that yet, right? So we're going to be down here. He's going to attack for one. He's going to kill that victim. Bump the bloodlust anyway, right? And reveal this. And then each puppet ignores the first damage dealt to it each turn. All right, whatever. For each victim killed, +1 bloodlust, and Geppeto recovers a health. That hurts. He doesn't recover any health because he's at full health. But we increase the bloodlust again here. So we are going to get some 2 movement from both Geppeto and his minions. That really sucks. How are we supposed to deal with the minions, you know? Maybe we just let him wipe the victims off the board and then we just kill them. Oh, we didn't get our freebies and put our cards back yet. All right, we take the freebies. So right now we have a focus, walk, walk, sprint, search. So I'm fine with that. And then we're going to put the other ones back. So sprint, distraction, focus is free, short rest is free, weak attack is free. All right, so these are the cards in hand. Panic phase, we do have to panic one of those victims. So let's roll a single die to panic. We got a 6, so he's going to go this direction. So he's in that space with all these guys. That's insane. I mean, look at how many people are in that one spot. That's a animal cages is where everyone's hiding, I guess. Pretty thematic, if you ask me. Seems to make sense. All right, what's going on now? We did panic phase. We do upkeep. We're not in the space with the golf cart because that trap spawned there, so nothing really goes on during upkeep. The final girl is right here. Maybe we just do weak attack and shit. Like, we don't have no attack cards yet. We do have a trash can, though. We got to get out of there. We got to save some victims, yeah? We're still rolling 3 dice. Let's do it. Let's do it up. Let's start with a walk. A walk could save some victims. And then a sprint could get us back and save more. So we're going to roll 3 dice on a walk here. All right, we got a single success and 2 converts. Is it worth? Let's see. We move 2 spaces for a time. No, we move 1 space. Yikes. Is it worth pitching another walk? Maybe we pitch a search and a focus. We pitch search and focus to get a double success here. So we spend a time. We convert one of ours. We spend a time, and now we can move 2 spaces. So we're going to take 2 of these victims with us out of this gigantic trampoline of a space. So we're going to go like this. 1, 2. We save 2 victims. That gives us 2 time, and then we move 1 more space for free. So we're up to 7 time. And then we can move another space. Now, I'm going to take this off because we're back down to just 2 minions are on this space and 3 guys. Sorry, I know this is super crowded and dumb. But it is what it is. All right. There's only 1 more victim to save. What did we not do yet? We have to move 1 space back. All right, now we have a walk and a sprint. This has to be right. So let's do it. We're going to walk. We roll 3 dice. We need a double success here. We get it. So we can move 2 spaces for a time. Let's spend the time. And then we'll go 1 and then right back out with 2 victims along with us. Now, all we have left is the sprint. We need this big movement here. Come on, give us 3 spaces. We need these successes. What is up with that? We get a tier out of it, dude? Do we just take the tier and then spend the tier to reroll? Oh my god, let's spend the tier right now to reroll one of our dice. This is bad. Or do we just take the tier? We got them out of the space. I think that's the most important thing. They were in there with those victims or those minions, and the minions can move another space though, so that's kind of the problem. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spend 2 tiers to re-roll one of my dice. Oh. All right, there you have it. Final girl. This game sucks. No, I'm just kidding. All right, we didn't get anything good there, so that was really bad, actually. We spent 2 tiers to reroll 1, and we have no cards to pitch on a triple convert, so nothing we can do about that. We just have to lose a health. lose 2 time, move 1 space, and end our turn. So moving that space does give us our finale. So we save this final victim here. We actually increase horror or decrease horror again, so that gives us a time back, which is interesting. And then we've got our ultimate ability unlocked now. Let's read this. During the action phase, you may lose 3 health to take critical blow action card directly into your hand. We could do that now, even though we have no cards left. And then for each additional victim saved, we did save an additional victim there. So we will. Let's separate this over here. I never use this current hand spot, so we're going to put the victims there. We get an additional time back, so we're up to 6 time. All right, that was fine. Do we want to lose 3 health here to take the critical blow? I think so, because critical blow is 6 time. So let's just take 3 health to take critical blow into our hands, and that's our only card right now. So then we go into our planning phase where we have 6 time to spend. We're going to get these 3 action cards back for free first, and then we can spend up to 6 time. I think it's important that we start, well, we obviously need sprint to move, so that's 2, so we're down to 4 time. We have that trash can lid, so I'm going to ignore. Maybe we spend our last 4 time on Furious Strike. Here, we just go big. Let's go back to 6 time. Return the cards to the tableau. So sprint, and then 3 free ones, and a search. Okay. All right. Things are starting to look a little better. We're getting slim on these terror cards, though. That's it for the planning phase. So we have killer phase. Spawn a puppet. Target a victim and move. Like, I don't get it. Killer. I'm gonna target. Like, I guess he just kills these. I think I've been doing this wrong. I'm not gonna lie. Does the puppets kill stuff? They attack for 1, right? So we kill 2 more victims. We go Bloodlust twice. He can now move for 3. And attack for 2. And then we flip another event card. So let me get this out of the way. Honestly, it's a little confusing the way the minions move and attack and stuff. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. All right, we have Full Moon. So the victim furthest from you, there's only 1 guy left. This is horrible. The victim furthest from you is the world's hairiest man. Oh, shit. And is actually a werewolf. The werewolf will not follow you and cannot be targeted, saved, or killed. During upkeep, panic the werewolf. Then he does 2 damage to 1 target in his space according to the following priority. Yo, this is crazy annoying. We just got a 4th minion. During upkeep, panic the werewolf. Then he does 2 damage to the target in the space according to the following. All right, priority is victims, then me, then minion, then killer. Ho ho! This could help us. All right, we change this guy to the Full Moon Werewolf. He's going to start banging up these... we need him to panic like that or that and then just start killing minions. That would be awesome. I'll take it. All right, so we've killed all the victims. There's none left. Just the werewolf. So then we flip the terror card. They're gaining on me. Roll a die. If the result is less than the horror level, lose time equal to the horror level. All right, we got a 3. So no, it's not. And then it says, puppets only, target the final girl and move. All right, they can't go 2 spaces away, but they can move for 3. So let's go like this. 1, 2. But they have to go back. 1, 2. We panicked this guy during upkeep, yeah? So we've got 3. Oh, wait, that doesn't go towards me. Yikes. So they have to end 2 spaces away. So the fastest would be there. And yo, the minion thing's annoying. I'm not gonna lie. It's very hard to figure out. This is the part of Gloomhaven that the computer should do for you. And like they added this. It's just meh. If someone was just here to just like tell me like, yo, this is how they move. This is how it goes. But like I've tried it. I just don't get it. So let's see. They're moving for 3, yeah? And they're targeting me. So again, they can't end 2 spaces away. That part is what's confusing. So they actually get further away, but not really because they're only 1 space away from me now. And then we have this guy, this other minion, is going to move. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. But then he's not 2 spaces away, so he'll move there. All right, and that is the end, thank God, of the killer phase. All right, so we do upkeep now. We have to panic this guy. This is actually fun. All right, so he panics at a 2, which sends him over here. And then he'll attack, but no one's there. Fair enough. Moving on, finally, killer phase over with. We're into the action phase, so let's just start chunking this guy down, if you know what I'm saying. We got to get in there. We have a critical blow, a furious strike, and a weak attack. That is a total of 4, 5, 6 damage we can do to him. He's only got 8 health. Do we care about the minions? I would say if we don't get to a space where the killer is, then we kill minions. Maybe our best route is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm kind of looking at this location board right now. So we have 1, 2, and we can kill a minion. 3, 4 to get to the killer. And then we have 1, we can kill 2 minions, and then 2, 3 spaces away from the killer. So we're going to go that way. So we have to start with a sprint is our only movement card, unfortunately. And during the action phase, you may lose 3 health to take critical blow action card into your hand. Maybe we should honestly use short rest right away. I've never used short rest. Sup, bro? Just played my first game of Final Girl last night and got the W. Played the organism. Yo, that's awesome, dude. Great to hear. Shmelock. We're in the middle of Carnival of Blood right now. I really don't know how these minions can get a little confusing. The organism's great, though. I love that one. It's a total alien theme. I don't know if you've seen Alien on Hulu, the new show, but that is so good. 10 out of 10, I will say. But my man, Shmelock, another Final Girl fan out there. Cool. So, yeah, let's sprint here. What we have left on the board basically right now is we got Final Girl. We have a werewolf from an event card called Full Moon. This guy attacks us, the killer. He can even attack minions. He turned the last victim into a werewolf somehow. Hairiest man on earth. Then we have 1, 2, 3 minions. We have a trap over here along with our golf cart. And then we have the killer. Everyone's still at full health except us. We're down to 2 health. And then the killer is still at full health. So this is a tough one, I will say. I've been struggling with this one. It went a lot. This is going way less smooth than when we did the first episode against Hans the Butcher. I mean, we just stomped that guy. So you showed up for a good part, I will say. We're about to just start hammering this dude down. Charlie's ultimate ability gives us the critical blow card, so we got some big damage cards in hand. We just don't have the movement right now. So hopefully we can get 2 of these walks back for free and get over there and just start beating on them. I'm not too scared of them. We have a trash can lid. So is what it is. We're going to do short rest first. So let's roll 3 dice. All right, we end up getting a single success there, which can give us a health for 1 time. Or we can pitch 2 cards. I say we pitch a focus and a weak attack. To do double success, we get 2 health back, and then I'm fine with going in. So we'll take our 2 health back. We pitch 2 cards. Now we have to sprint and do some damage. If we don't make it to the killer, I need the playmats for sure. So sick. Yeah, these have been huge for helping me figure out like where stuff goes and whatnot. We have this. I believe this is like the original one, and then, or maybe this is the original one down here, and then this is the second one, and then this is like the season 3 one. That's the newest. Also came with this and the tier dice. If you don't know about tier dice, I can show you real quick. They give you this tier board. It's actually kind of funny. So we have the accessory sheet. So this comes with the playmat here, and then the dice tray, 5 tier markers, 6 tier dice, and the tier board, which is right here. So I thought it was funny the way they worded this. They said it is well known in Final Girl lore that our inspiration and creativity is fueled by the tears of the players. Crying about no success. I love it. So yeah. We have this. Each puppet ignores the first damage dealt to it each turn. I forgot about that already. So, all right, we did a short rest. We pitched 2 cards. We're gonna. Yeah, I thought that was really funny too. I've already read that like 2 or 3 times. All right, so we're gonna sprint, and worst case scenario, we make it here. We start just whacking these minions off the board so we can get to the killer. Or is it just a better strategy to just go straight for the killer? Shmelock, thanks for the follow, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna do a sprint. Let's roll 3 dice. We end up getting a single success, so that's kind of what I was worried about. We could just barrel through the minions, or we could. Well, there's no way we're pitching these 2 cards. I mean, these are 2 of the best cards in the game: Critical Blow and Furious Strike. So let's go with the single success. We can move 2 spaces. Do we want to get hit by 2 minions, though? Let's just move 1 space. I think we just got to start going in. We'll move 1 space for a time. That really sucks, but it is what it is. Now, we have these 2 cards. Let's use them. And don't forget, we can get this Critical Blow, which is really expensive. It's 6 time. We can get this back by losing 3 health. That's why we did just short rest here. Marvel Champions and SETI in the back are goated. We got a Marvel Champions fan, and SETI I've played once. Love Marvel Champions, though. Play it all the time. I'm not the best at it, but it's fun building decks. Mostly I just use the deck database to build cards. I use other people's builds. I'm not the best deck builder, but it is fun to, make the decks that other people have already made and use them to beat the villains. Yeah, I've got all the Marvel Champions, all the Arkham Horror. SETI's good. I played it once so far solo. It's hard for me to get other people to play, so most of my content is solo, unfortunately. But, yeah. We also have Gloomhaven in the back. I don't know if this is better for you to see or not. I can actually just get out of the way here. We've got the Wingspan Nesting Box. We have Spirit Island. We have Azul. We have Everdell. We have Lord of the Rings LCG. Ticket to Ride. Let me go over here. Terraforming Mars. We've got Heat Pedal to the Metal. all these games. I like try to stream every day, so yeah, let's whack some of these minions. Or we just go to this space and don't worry about the minions. What are the thoughts on that? Spirit Island is a favorite too. Yeah, Spirit Island's really good. I haven't gotten too into it. Like, I don't have any of the expansions or anything, but I've played like maybe one or two of the spirits. It's really fun. I need to watch more like strategy on that, to be honest. So yeah, let's just do a Furious Strike here because they're gonna ignore the first damage. And maybe we save Critical Blow so we can kill one of the minions would be nice. Alright, we're gonna roll 3 dice here. What am I supposed to do? Blow on these dice? We don't have 2 cards to pitch, so we get a single success. With a single success, we reduce horror by 1, which gives us a time. We do 1 damage, which is ignored, and then our turn ends. So that was actually pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. We go straight to the planning phase. Yeah, this is going pretty grim. We may have to pick up a guard and a retaliate here. I think we're definitely picking up retaliate. So we get retaliate for 4 time. We're down to 2, and then we take a sprint for the movement. And then we still have some cards in hand, and we get these freebies, don't forget. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. We're not dead yet. We got Furious Strike going back in the tableau. We have Sprint going back in the tableau. And then the 3 freebies, Short Rest, Focus, and Weak Attack. All right, so that was the planning phase. We're going to do killer phase right now. They ignore the first damage, so we did no damage to the minions. That really sucks. So no puppets spawn. We have Shmelock, you said you played your first game of Final Girl. Does that mean have you ever played this one? Because I have a lot of rules questions on the minions and how they work. Because right now it says spawn a puppet. There's none to spawn. They move towards just the organism so far. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, there's none to spawn. We haven't killed any, so none have been exhausted or anything like that. It says they have 1 health, 1 movement, 1 attack, but it's equal to Geppetto's. So right now they move for 3 and attack for 2, but they can never end 2 spaces, more than 2 spaces away from Geppetto. So they could like run out, attack us, run back. I don't know. Then we're going to have killer action here is going to be target final girl or closest victim and attack. So we're going to get attacked by these minions, I guess, for 2. First, we'll use the trash can lid twice. So we're going to use 2 charges there of the trash can lid to ignore the first puppet's attack. The second puppet is going to attack for 2. And we're going to use 1 trash can lid. And then we'll take a damage. No, we have to guard this or retaliate this, don't we? Yeah, because we can't get a health back. And if we want critical blow... Oh, we saved critical blow. We can lose this health here. Let's lose the health. Alright, so we're down to 3 health. That's fine. We have panic phase. Nothing happens. But then we have upkeep phase. Our werewolf is going to panic. Now, hopefully he starts ticking away at, what's his face? Let's get these out of here. We're going to panic the werewolf right now. We got a 4, so that's not good. He goes this way. This guy's useless. He's supposed to be helping us. All right, and then that's the end of upkeep, so we're on to the action phase. I'm just going to ignore the minions for now. We're going to run right at the guy and try to kill him. Let's start with a walk. We're still rolling 3 dice. We've been able to keep this horror level So good. Down in the ones. Yo. What is with the rolls, man? We've been getting shit rolls lately. Our trash can lid's gone, by the way, so that's used up. So we'll discard that. We are kind of screwed here. I'm not going to lie. Do we take a tier? We might have to take a tier. Or we can discard maybe a walk focus. Let's discard walk focus for a partial success. Move one space. Is that even worth? With a no success, we can move a space, lose a health, lose 2 time, gain 1 back. You hate to see it. Oh my god. You know it, dude. Yesterday we were just, or maybe 2 days ago, whenever we played Final Girl last, we were just rolling double success after double success. I thought, once I mentioned that the dice roller was lucky, it no longer was. So yeah, it's just not lucky. There you go. What do we do here? We take a tier? I think we move 1 space for a time. I mean, it gets us closer. So we're going to pitch, walk, and focus. We spend the time. We can move 1 space. Did I move that twice? Yeah, I did. All right, we're going to move 1 space. We're going to the animal cages. That's where everyone was hanging out earlier. Now, all we have is critical blow, sprint, and retaliate. I think we're safe. So let's do a sprint. Yo, what? All the movement when we don't need it, right? What's up? We can move 3 spaces right now. Is that even... You can't kill this guy. Again, it says the victim furthest from you is the world's hairiest man and actually is a werewolf. The werewolf will not follow you. He cannot be targeted, saved, or killed. So this orange thing's just on the board, useless. But he can do damage to that guy. All right, we're just going to move. It says 3 spaces. We just go 1. It is what it is. We still have to spend a time, though, sadly. And then, come on, give me that success right here, man. We got this critical blow coming in. We did it. We did it. All right, 3 damage, reduce a horror by 1, gives us a time back. And we do 3 damage to Geppeto. Finally, we have done some damage to Geppeto. There we go. Take 3 health away. You love to see it. You love to see it. All right. Now, all we have left is retaliate, so we can't do shit with that. Let's move on to the planning phase. We do have some time left. We've got 5 time. So our options are... We have no weapons, too. We didn't pick up anything good. We could get Furious Strike. It does 2 damage. We are going to get Weak Attack back as well. So that's at least 3 damage we can do. We're kind of looking for... I mean, what are the chances we go here? We get a weapon. House of Mirrors right now is showing a bullwhip. And I kind of like the bullwhip because if we whack them with the bullwhip, we can push them back a little bit, move a space. Get the minions away from us, do all kinds of weird shit with the bullwhip. The puppets are going to ignore the first damage dealt to it each turn anyway. So let's think about taking maybe a search. That's 2 time. So we go down to 3. And then our best bet is to take a sprint and a close call, I think. Okay, then we go back to 6. We get short rest, weak attack, and focus for the free cards. We put critical blow back. Now, with our ultimate ability, we can spend 3 health to get that for free during the action phase, but we're getting a little low on health, so maybe we do a short rest, pick up critical blow, who knows. All right, let's see what else is going on. That's going to be it for the planning phase, so we move right on to the killer phase. We have spawn a puppet. All right, no puppets, so then target the final girl or closest victim and attack. See, it doesn't say move. So as long as you're not in the space there, you're fine, right? That's what it is. All right. We'll flip a terror card. We have Misty Ambush. All victims at or adjacent to the Forest of Horrors panic. Forest of Horrors. Help me find it. I'm not seeing it. Am I blind? Oh, it's down here in the corner. All victims at or adjacent. So that's none. And then it says, if at least one victim is killed, increase the horror. If no victims were killed, resolve the next terror card. All right, that also hurts. We don't like to see that. All right, razor puppet strings. Yikes. Victims in or adjacent to Geppeto space are killed. All right, werewolf's not a victim anymore. And then we have lose 2 health if you are in or adjacent to Geppeto space. You may reduce damage by 1 for each walk or sprint action you discard. Yeah, so we're going to lose health, but we can pitch walks. Now, I think we have both. We don't have any walks. We have a sprint. We can reduce that damage by 1. And then it says if no victims are killed and you did not take damage, resolve the next terror card. So it's important that we take at least 1 damage here, I think. Let's pitch our sprint to reduce it by 1. So we're losing a health. All right, it's getting real here. We could just not pitch sprint, take the 2 damage, and then we're rolling extra dice. I mean, this is what the game's all about right now. So, you know, we get that 4th dice. You feel me? That's what we're doing. So we're just going to take that 2 damages. It says if no victims were killed and you did not take damage, then resolve the next terror card. We don't want that because the finale is going to come out, and there's only 3 terror cards left. So we've really got to get going here and do some damage and kill this guy, or we're just going to fucking lose, you know? All right, so we pitched nothing. That ends the killer phase. We got panic phase. We do panic. We panic the werewolf during upkeep, so let's just do that to get that over with. He's going to panic to a 3, which is in... We have 1, 2, 6, and 5. So he panics here. I don't think he panics. Do you know how the panic thing works, Shmelock, or no? They got these little numbers here. I rolled a 3, and there's no 3 on this spot, so I guess you don't panic. There's a 3 for the next location. But yeah, I don't think we put them there. We're just going to go with that. Move on to upkeep, or after upkeep is action. So we're doing the action phase. I picked up this sprint so I could walk over there and search. Right? So let's do sprint. We're rolling 4 dice now because we're down to our last health. My understanding is if the number isn't there, they stay put. Got you. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So we're rolling 4 dice here. Now we're just killing it. I mean, 4 dice is OP. So we spend a time. We can move 3 spaces. We're only going to move 1, though, because we want to do a search here. We got to get this bullwhip. So we can bullwhip this dude down. All right, we get 2 successes again. Now, this says take the top 2 item cards at your space and choose one. Place the other on top or face up underneath. Yo, that is so confusing. Take the top 2 item cards at your space and choose one. Place the other on top, face up, or underneath, face down. Maybe I just can't read. All right, we're going to get the top 2. We didn't really want the top 2 because there's traps and shit in there. So let's take the bullwhip and just hope we get lucky. All right, I'll take it. All right, we got pepper spray. So bullwhip, if you damage an enemy with the bullwhip, you may move them 1 space. That's what we love about the bullwhip. Then we have pepper spray. If the killer's in your space, you may discard this item to immediately end the killer phase. Ignore remaining movement, attacks, and any other effects. Oh. Choices. We got choices. I think we take Bullwhip. Bullwhip's just going to whack him, right? It does 1 damage. It only takes up a hand slot. We'll put this on top face up. You love to see it. We finally got the Bullwhip. It just sucks you can't, whack or die. It just sucks you can't, like, move, search, and then use the rest of your movement that you didn't use. That's really unfortunate because now we're stuck here. So maybe we just let them come to us. We could try to get some health back, but if we get the health back, we're not rolling that extra dice. And we do have a retaliate, so I think it's important we stay at 1 health. Just bear with me here. So trust the process. We have action phase. We're moving on to the planning phase right now. Did we spend a time? Let's see. We should have spent 2 times. So we're at 4. So we have 4 time to search or spend time or on buy cards. We get 3 free ones, and then we're pretty close to the max here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have 4 time to spend. Let's just get Furious Strike. Let's end this. And we're going to put the search down and the sprint down. And we have killer phase. All right, spawn a puppet. Target the closest victim and move. All right, then we have the killer is going to target the final girl and attack. Okay. I've noticed that Geppeto having no movement is kind of big. He's not really chasing you around the board. Like, why does it say target the victim, though? Because, like, the puppets are really only going for the victims, I guess. Do we move these guys is really what I'm trying to ask. I think they move back to Geppeto if there's nobody left, right? So they go like this, and now he's kind of got a little defense. Let's just go with that, and then we'll flip a tarot card. So roll a die. All right, bet. We're going to roll a die. All right, we got 4. All right, you must lose health equal to half the result or round it up or kill that many victims instead. All right, are we just cooked here? Like, what happened? We rolled a die to lose the game? Like, that seems weak as hell. I'm not going to lie. I don't like Carnival of Blood. Maybe it's Geppeto that sucks because of the minions. All right, we have to lose 2 health. We don't have 2 health. Can we retaliate? You must lose health equal to half the result, rounded up, or kill that many victims. There's no victims on the board. Are we just cooked? We just lost? Like, can we not retaliate this damage? We have to be able to, right? This is like a killer attack. We're going to retaliate this so we can ignore all damage from attack. I don't know if this is right. This has been one of the worst Final Girl games. Can't wait for the next one, though. Yeah, we're going to try to retaliate this. All right, we got a single success, 2 converts, 3 converts. So we're going to pitch a walk and a focus to ignore all damage and do 2 back plus 1 from our bullwhip. Bada bing, bada boom. Wait, our bullwhip don't have range. We're not even in the space. So we're just dead. We're cooked. Yo, should we just flip a different one? That seems like a stupid result. I mean, we could check our health card. Do we check our health token and see if we lost? I think we just lost. Yeah, we lost. All right, so that's going to be it. We lost. That's so weak. I mean, come on, man. Make or break, roll a die. You must lose health equal to half the result or kill that many victims instead. If that would have came out earlier, I'd be fine with killing 4 victims, but to just lose the game over that seems pretty dumb. I guess we didn't make it, so we lost to Geppeto here. I'm fine with it. I want to see what his health token. Okay, so he also had a blank health token. So we would have won, maybe. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This expansion or this feature film, sorry, is not my favorite. And it's not because I lost. I just think it's confusing to mess around with the minions like that. Like, isn't there already enough movement mechanics and stuff? At least I think. And then they're adding traps and stuff. Like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe when I understand the rules better, will I like this one more or appreciate this one more. But yeah, we lost to Geppeto. It is what it is. Shmilok, you're the man. Thanks for stopping by. Everyone else, Goblin. We didn't see Hopeless Diplodocus today, which is crazy. But yeah, thanks everyone for checking out the stream. This was Final Girl Carnival of Blood. Sorry that we lost, but we did. We'll get them next time. I don't know what the next one is. It could be Dr. Fright. It could be Poltergeist. They don't really have an order of them. We're just doing Series 1. So, yeah, what a bummer. I mean, we had him down to 4 health. The massive abominations didn't affect us, really. We weren't really trying to kill. But Bloodlust does get up really high with those minions. And again, it's because I don't know really the rules, like how they work. The most confusing part about this for me is like the minions spawn a puppet. Sure. They target a victim. Sure. They move. Sure. They never attack. Or then it says killer. I mean, is the minion a killer too? Or is he just a minion? I wish it kind of like explained that a little better in the rules. Maybe it does, and maybe I'm just dumb. So, I don't know. But this was Geppeto Carnival of Blood. And maybe tomorrow we'll get in some Poltergeist or whatever the next one is. But yeah, it's been real, folks. That's going to wrap it up for today. Bye, everybody.